Now for reaction on Jacob Zuma's decision to vote for Umkhonto we Sizwe, we're joined by the Deputy South African National Civic Organisation President Robbie Tsikwe. Tsikwe, appreciate your time this evening. Now, how does Sanco respond to Jacob Zuma's accusations against the ANC, particularly regarding issues such as state capture, the 2017 National Conference, and the handling of corruption allegations within the ANC?
Look, the issue of corruption, I think we like to sensationalize the matters. Let's leave the court to do its work, and let us not judge people because of being suspects or because of allegation. If we do that, then it means we will prosecute people in a kangaroo way, or in a kangaroo court. So President Jacob Zuma is charged, is appearing in court, and then what we also want to do is we respond to that. We'll be not giving it a fair judgment, because we will take decisions, and many of us, not being lawyers and not even follow the procedure of the court. There are many comrades or many people that have been suspected and whom will end up entertaining the issue of a judiciary and start to undermine the judiciary system. I will not comment on this issue because of many comrades saying, or many people saying he has been charged. Being charged is not to mean that you are being found guilty, or let us leave the court to do its work independently. Thank you.
Well, Robbie, I think it's not sensationalizing the issue. We may not speak or point fingers at specific individuals, but it is common knowledge. I mean, if we take a look at the state capture report, courtesy of the Zondo Commission, the allegations are founded about the levels of corruption within government and within the ANC. And the issue is that the ANC apparently seems to sweep much of this under the rug.
That is what I'm saying. Look, Ali, when you are being charged, you still have to defend yourself. But the manner in which cases are being handled, it is because we want to have a public comment over things that are above us. Let's allow the judiciary to do things. Zondo Commission found many people guilty, or found many people as being in the till, and many of them are still there, but are not being publicly being prosecuted by the public. But many of them are there. There are many cases that we cannot. I cannot talk about them because lest I interfere with the judiciary system of South Africa. Let's allow the judiciary system to take its course, and then we comment, because now the person is being charged, we are prosecuting him here publicly, and the judiciary also prosecuting on the other side. And when I make my own opinion on the case, and the case doesn't come according to how I expected it, I will be now starting to question the judiciary system, which is something that we, as Sanco, wants to have our community understanding that civic education also includes the judiciary system. How does it work? How the government works? What is the responsibility of citizens of the country? Now, if I jump into the judiciary system, which is not my territory at this moment, I'm not prejudging the case, or I'm not hindering the case, and the judiciary system will not be able to do the right work.
Well,
that is why we are an free community in South Africa, because we preempt our suggestions, and when they are not done, we want to react. When will we be able to move away from that? Because we are a country that reacts and reacts and reacts without being, what do you call it? We are not proactive. We are just reactive. And it is dangerous for the community. As a leader, if I take sides before the judiciary, remember that there are those that are following me. And if I advance that kind of thing when I'm not a lawyer, we will come up with this narrative that says the ANC is shifting everything under the carpet. But then what is the role of the judiciary?
So
let us not confuse people, please.
So let's look at former President Jacob Zuma's stance, which is to vote for Umkhonto weSizwe. And in many ways, he said, I mean, he's made it clear that he will remain a member of the ANC, but he will not vote for the ANC. Does Sanco support his stance?
No, look, we forget that we say that this country, everyone has a right to belong. Are we forgetting that now today to say every person has a right to belong and to have an association with whoever he wants to have an association with, or he can form an organization and can decide otherwise. The thing that I'm talking about is that, you see, we usually say that my vote is secret. Now, if he says he's not going to vote for the ANC, why should he prosecute him? It's not his democratic right. It is democratic right to say, I will vote whoever I want to vote. But when we want to canvass, we may also say, go to him and say, have you made a correct decision when you say you want to vote for the party that you didn't lead in the past? And we must also know that things are, there's a metaphasis of our structures as we move. Things that I believed in today might change tomorrow. My pronouncement today, elections we don't even have the date of the elections now. Whatever I say today might be motivated other way, that by the time of the elections, I have changed my way many times, because we must understand in politics we are not static. We are being pursued, and we are also pursuing other people. We are stand to be convinced, we are stand to be persuaded. So whatever comrade Zuma has decided now, it is now. We don't know when, by the time of the election, will he still come back and say, I reverted to my original organization that I led.
But Robbie, if you'll allow me to interject, sir, we obviously don't want to hypothesize, right? And there is a possibility that former President Jacob Zuma may turn around at some point in time in the future and say he changes his mind. But the issue is, right now, he has said that he's not voting for the ANC. You are an alliance partner. And if your membership came to you and said to you, Robbie, what do we do? Do we vote for the ANC, or do we go with President Zuma voting for the Umkhonto weSizwe? What would your response be?
The issue is that we elevate people over the policies of the organization. That's one of the mistakes that I'm saying. As a civic organization, as Sanco, we should be able to do better in that, to say, when Comrade Zuma says he will not be voting for the ANC, and the constituency come to me and say, are we voting the ANC or are we voting Umkhonto weSizwe? We must also understand that you don't come to another organization that you have formed an alliance with and make a comment that says somebody says so. You should be able to say Robbie from Sanco say is not going to vote the ANC. It's another issue. Comrade Zuma says, I'm not going to vote for the ANC, but I'm going to vote for Umkhonto weSizwe. It's a chance to say, how do we pursue him, persuade him to say, Comrade Zuma, what are your reasons? Do you mean your reasons are beyond repair, that you must go and vote for another party? Or are we saying now, we took a decision to vote for the ANC? There were reasons when we took the decisions to vote for the ANC. We don't know the decisions of Comrade Zuma to vote for the Umkhonto weSizwe. Because as an alliance partner, we say, what are the things that we believe in? And why are we saying we supported this organization? It's not to say somebody feels today that I'm no more going to vote for this and therefore the constituency will come. It is for us to seek the reasons for him, so that the reasons that he put forward, we must be able to put forward to our constituency to say, this is what's supposed to happen. I mean, he only announced now on Saturday. We haven't met as a structure to say, what are we saying going forward? And thereafter, then we will be able to inform even our people to say, what kind of decision are we taking?
Now,
am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir. Now, one of the issues that continues to rear its ugly head is accusations around corruption in the ANC. Mavuso Msimang, who's made an about turn, stated that as one of the reasons that he had withdrawn from the ANC. President Jacob Zuma has also mentioned the same thing. What are the implications of these allegations, do you think, on the ANC's election status come 2024, and also how it impacts you as an alliance partner?
Look, the reality is that much as we are an alliance partner, excuse me, there are things that we think are long-hanging fruits, which must be addressed with immediate effect. There are things that we take as medium-term and others as long-term. The issue here is that we have to come to a sense that says, yes, there is corruption in government of the ANC. Nobody can deny that there is corruption, because some of our councillors, we see what they do. Councillors are unable to give services. Streets are bad. Those are the things that we must fight. And the corruption that we are talking about, it goes along all spheres to say, if the council is unable to give people the basic services, what does that mean? It also says, what does the community contribution to that? Because when you go say, there's corruption in government and you don't pay your services, how do you expect the services to be delivered to you when you are not paying? So the issue of corruption is not an easy debate like anybody thinks it should be. And that the ANC is corrupt. Yes, there are corrupt acts within the ANC by certain individuals of the ANC. And it is for the ANC to make sure that before the election, how do they correct that, so that we must move in unison to say, yes, those who are corrupt are not just purged, but are given facts to say, these are the things that we have done. We therefore put you on, what was in your term? Step aside. Step aside until we are dealing with this matter and you are done. But the corruption is there. That's why I'm saying I don't want to say something else or to sugarcoat it. Because our members as Sanco are suffering from service delivery. And our members of Sanco are not paying. So how do we get the two together? Is the work, when you give work to the residents, does the social, the local economy enable our communities to get work? Are we able to ensure that municipalities are able to give these people the right thing? Those are the things that we must start to iron out as an alliance. These are the things that we must start to debate with our people. It's not a corruption inside. Are we also not corrupt by not paying the services?
Tata Robbie, allow me to ask my last question. And former President Jacob Zuma suggests that the best way to rescue the ANC is from the outside. Now, we have continually heard that narrative where many individuals, Jacob Zuma included, Mavuso Msimang also, speaking about how difficult it is to try and get the ANC to change its ways from the inside, and the best resolution is to do it from the outside. What is Sanco's perspective on this approach, and does it agree that a new political formation is necessarily a positive thing?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that a new political party is Look, we must be honest. All of us, when all people that leave the ANC, or all people that are within the ANC, or all people that are angry with the ANC, at some stage they were leading the ANC. They could see that this thing, the ANC's principle is slowly being eroded. And instead of capturing on time, let us all agree that we failed to realize this on time. And that because we failed to realize this on time, within the ANC and its alliance, there are those that they don't want this corruption at all. But are we coming together and say we want to fight the corruption within the ANC? And as we fight the corruption within the ANC, are we all going to agree when they say this one, A is wrong, these are the charges, the same charges when they are at B, will they be able to say, yes, when we say we suspend, we don't care whether you are a minister,